The infamous Claremont serial killer has been found guilty. Bradley Edwards, a man unknown only 5 years ago, is now the known Claremont serial killer. Dear Victorians, welcome to another video. If you enjoy what you see, I humbly request that you like and subscribe. Please do not forget to ring the bell icon as well, and give a follow on Instagram. In the country of Australia, in the state of Western Australia, in the city of Perth, in the area called Claremont, is an infamous murderer, the Claremont serial killer as he has been known. For almost 25 years, no one knew who he was, or at least there was no one found guilty. He was a man who in the 1990s, in the affluent area called Claremont, killed 3 women. Well, it's now been proven that he was the definitive murderer of 2 of them. A court case which has been going on for almost 5 years now has finally concluded. Here is the judge announcing his conclusion. Stay afterwards for some commentary and a brief analysis.
The propensity evidence makes it more likely that the accused was the killer of Miss Spears, but it cannot prove it beyond reasonable doubt.
The investigation into the murder of Sarah Spears remains open. We will never give up trying to locate Sarah, and I've conveyed that to Don and Carol.
So now that we know the Claremont serial killer is Bradley Edwards, who was the Claremont serial killer, and what did he do, and how was he caught? Well, in a brief synopsis, here we go. So in the late 1990s, a man was wandering around the area called Claremont, as we previously discussed, in Perth, Western Australia. He would target blonde women who are young, who are leaving a nightclub called the Continental. This has now been renamed to the Claremont Hotel. He would follow them afterwards and then usually kidnap them, presumably raping and murdering them. The 2 women who Bradley Edwards has been found guilty of murdering are Jane Rimmer and Kiara Glennon. Both their bodies were found, and there was DNA linking the murder to him, as well as fibre evidence of the work uniform Bradley Edwards would have been wearing at the time. However, Sarah Spears, she was never found, and therefore he was not found guilty of murdering her. Why has it taken almost 25 years to find the Claremont serial killer then, if they have the DNA evidence? Well, in the 1990s, DNA evidence was not really a thing. So Bradley Edwards only needed to avoid having his fingerprints taken, and for a long time he got away with this. They even suspected a person who matched his modus operandi, someone who worked for the company called Telstra. They wanted a list of all the workers because their car matched what witnesses had seen. However, Telstra provided a list which excluded his name. This would be the detriment and would mean it would take 20 years before finding out it was Bradley Edwards. Because Bradley Edwards had not only done these murders, he had been raping for a long time. He raped a woman in 1988, which was where he left a semen DNA stain on the Camino cloth. Here it is. And then in 1990, he assaulted a woman while working as a technician for the same company, Telstra. He was only convicted of a minor charge, common assault. He even kept his job, which was a travesty. However, his fingerprints were taken. Now at this time, all these things were unrelated. Even the murders, they didn't have anything. In 2009, however, breakthrough in DNA research meant they finally discovered a DNA match between the Claremont serial killing murders, a rape in a cemetery, which Bradley had also done, but he was never found guilty of. The woman who was raped escaped, but her identity is concealed, and the 1988 rape. So in total, Bradley killed 2 women, raped one in the cemetery, raped one in 1988 in her house, and also assaulted a woman at work. He was officially only found out for one of those, the assault on the woman. However, now that the DNA evidence linked the murders to the 1988 rape, and that 1988 rape was linked to the 1990 sexual assault, they had him. They had the fingerprints, which matched the DNA evidence, which matched Bradley Edwards. It was the same DNA, and it was his fingerprints. But they needed more proof. They needed to confirm his DNA. By confirming his DNA, they could confirm that it was him who murdered the two women. Because of only the fingerprints, they could only convict him of the 1988 rape. So, how did they do this? They tracked him for weeks. In a sting operation, they waited. It was an old stakeout. One time he went to the movies, and he dropped a Sprite bottle in the bin. They quickly followed, grabbed the bottle, and there they had it, his DNA evidence. After almost 5 years in court and a lengthy investigation, they have finally got him. This was his house where he was arrested. And this is the Continental Hotel where it all happened. He waited outside this hotel and tracked him each time. It was funny because for all these years, he had played himself as a family man, going to football games and local child community events. You could see he was portraying himself as a child-friendly community man. It was funny, only 3 months before he was found, and, well, the whole investigation began in 2016, late 2016. 3 months before they arrested him for the first time, he posted this ominous image. He obviously was a sycophant. He also had an interest in collecting women's clothing and sometimes wearing them, and wearing women's underwear. He was a sick, strange man. But that is all for today on the Claremont Serial Killer. What we know, Bradley Edwards was found guilty of murdering Kiara Glennon, and he was not found guilty of murdering Sarah Spears. She is yet to be found, her body. He was also found guilty of murdering Jane Rimmer. So there's finally peace for Jane Rimmer and Kiara Glennon's family. But Sarah Spears' body still is out there, so this case is not fully over. If you'd like a more and a fully detailed video report of the Claremont Serial Killer, leave a comment below and I will do one. Dear Victorians, thank you for watching this. If you enjoyed what you saw, I humbly request that you like and subscribe. And please don't forget to ring the bell icon, leave a comment and follow me on Instagram. Thank you and stay safe in these troublesome times.